All right, my last video needs a follow-up. It will help explain what I was talking about. So this idea of the Antichrist being this last day boogeyman that suddenly appears and he's against Christ and he's calling fire down from heaven and he's doing all these miraculous things. And some say it's a Jew in the middle of the 7 years of trials and tribulation, which is also hogwash. But let me just explain myself. Even if you disagree with me, maybe you need to listen so you can have points to argue against and research yourself. Because don't take my word for it. Take the word of God for it and logic. So futurism, it was popularized recently by the Left Behind series. Remember those back in the 90s? And that also came out of the Scofield Bible. This was not always the interpretation, futurism. This was never the interpretation of Protestant churches back before in the 19th century, even in the early 20th century. Men believed in futurism. Who? People like James Strong, who wrote Strong's Concordance. Sir Isaac Newton believed in historicism, the theory that I'm teaching you about the Antichrist being the Catholic Church. Also, John Wesley and Charles Wesley, founders of the Methodist Church. George Whitefield, the famous preacher. The famous Jonathan Edwards, Spurgeon. The list goes on. Of course, Martin Luther, John Calvin. So basically, the founders of the Baptist churches, the Presbyterian churches, John Knox, the Lutherans, the Puritans, all of them, up to the neo-Protestants like the Seventh-day Adventist Church and the early Church of Christ, congregational churches, okay? So lots of famous, smart people believed in historicism. It was the Scofield Bible that changed everything, because the Scofield Study Bible had futurism in its study notes. Where did futurism come from? Oh, wow, surprise, surprise. It came out of the Council of Trent from a Catholic Jesuit named Francisco Ribera, and he created futurism. It was not popular. People didn't accept Catholic theology unless they were Catholics. But slowly, it started creeping in the 19th century. The Scofield Bible, big boom hit, and people started believing in futurism and the Antichrist being this last day boogeyman instead of someone who's been here since the 6th century, grew, had a deadly wound, like it says in the Bible, after 1260 years, and then comes back to power, slowly comes back to power. The papacy is slowly coming back to power, and I'm talking to you Catholics, leave the church.